Yeah, Stella, baby. Finna get right. Here we go. Yeah, listen. I ain't really tryna hold too much pride. Feeling like Michael, how I beat those odds, yeah. She's a real winner, and I can't deny she fine as wine with time. I don't really care for the clout nor fame, but you better make sure you know my name, yeah. This is real life, and it ain't no game. When you see me in the skyline, knock me down, come back up. Watch your work, watch your strut now. I don't care what they say, I'ma still have my way. I'm alright, that's for sure. I know I can endure. Back and forth, on and on. Yes, I'm on quite a run, yeah.
Welcome to Rooted Within Her podcast. This is your go-to podcast if you're looking for motivation and if you really desire to be inspired. Here is where we get to help women heal, rebuild, grow, and step into their power unapologetically. So make sure that you are following me on all social media platforms. That's Rooted Within Her. Again, that's at Rooted Within Her. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. Make sure you are following and just stay in tune to just see what we have coming out. There are going to be some great things that are coming out in 2025. So make sure you stay tuned. You got to stay close to the fire so that way you can make sure you are continuing to grow and excel. You might be wondering, who is Brittany Boss Up? Well, as your host, I am a woman veteran, a keynote speaker, mental health therapist, and wealth and wellness coach. And I'm excited to have you listening in today as we're going to be talking about different things, really getting deep in on relationships. So today is Tuesday as we do Truthful Talk Tuesday. So our scripture today is John 8:32. The truth will set you free. Okay. There are so many people who come to me, my clients, and they just really want to be free. They are tired of living in chaos. They're tired of things turning out the way they have turned out. And they really just desire so much more for their life. And so when you think about your own life, you think about, okay, had I not gone here, had I not done this, then I wouldn't be here. But I challenge you to think about, well, because I did go there, and because I took the steps or did whatever I did, I am here today. How have I grown from that? And so when you think about it on a deeper level and you think about relationships, I want you to really think about, where are you? And where do you desire to be? Envision your best self possible. What I see is so many people, they show up and they expect a different result, but they don't put in any work. They don't even envision themselves achieving success. Like, honey, I can't tell you how many times I really envision myself literally on stages, winning awards, giving my speech, telling people like, wow, like here I am, but I wouldn't be here without the glory of God. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the Lord on my side. And so when we think about where we are today, we have to think about, okay, what is it that we really desire to accomplish in life? And that's something that we have to spread on from generation to generation, letting our children know, like, you have to dream it. You have to physically see it to achieve it. I used to be in this one organization, and one thing that was so different about them is they were so big on reading books, getting your intellect together, getting your mindset together. But most importantly, like, if you want that car, go to the dealership, sit in a car, test drive it, feel it out, put the picture on your board, make it to where you see it, you feel it, and now you are really working your behind off to make sure you accomplish that goal. And so for someone who had never done that before, that seems crazy, but it's not, because everybody who did that, they were driving their dream car. Everyone who did that, they couldn't sleep at night because they were like, okay, like, I have to get here. I have to reach these goals of success. Now, there are some people who are okay. You might be listening today and you're like, that's not me. I don't have that drive, and that's okay. Everybody is created differently for a reason. Everybody's not made to be the janitor. Everyone's not made to be an educator or a teacher. Everyone's not made to be a worker at, let's say, Chick-fil-A or Church's Chicken or whatever, or work at the grocery store. Everyone's not made for that. But you know that you are made and created for greater, because there's something inside of you that just will not be still. It won't be quiet. You are working these jobs and you know that there's more within you. You are given tasks and told to do this and do that, but you know, like, yes, I'm doing it, but I know that I have a greater calling for my life. And so as you think about that, I want you to really think about your worth and your value. I'll never forget working at Walmart when I was in college. And I became a supervisor. So couldn't nobody tell me nothing. They gave me keys, an extra $1 an hour. But I felt like something. I felt like somebody. I was like, okay, I'm moving up. I'm doing all these things. And I'll never forget being in my role and having to give orders. And I enjoyed what I was doing. Like, I was like, okay, I'm in college. I'm moving up. I'm doing all these things. Like, I've been keeping my numbers high as far as getting people in that my line super quick. And I'm doing all these things. So I felt like, okay, here I am. But I got a real good reality check when I would tell people, hey, I need you to go to Register 8. And because I started off on a level where I was friends with people, now I'm in this supervisor position giving orders. I realized I learned a very valuable lesson, that it's hard for people to take that role from you. Because a lot of times people are going to see you where they met you and they keep you at that level. And so I was listening to, his name is PMJ, Pastor Mike Jr. McClure, Pastor Mike. And he's also a recording artist and he's a pastor. He has this song, Amen. It's amazing. And he talked about this in his sermon. He talked about how sometimes people can't see your worth and your value because of where they met you at. And he gave a great analogy. He talked about what is the difference between finding the same ring at Kay's Jeweler versus the pawn shop. Same ring, different prices. And when he talked about this, it made so much sense, because the difference is where they find you at, where they found that ring at. And he talked about how you cannot allow people to keep you in this box because when they met you, you were in pain, or because when they met you, you had just gone through a very bad breakup, or because when they met you, you were in a very low place in your life. And so what happens a lot of times is, because a lot of times we haven't seen healthy relationships, people will sit here and keep you there because that makes them feel great, because you need them, and you feel like that person is really helping you to get to the next level. And the reality of it is we have to take a step back and know that we're growing and we're developing and we're molding. And so that means those relationships that we formed back then, they're not going to always be there in the now. And so I love the way he broke it down and saying, don't let people keep you stuck. And yes, it is hard for some people to see you as this person that might have been making 30 or 40,000 to now you are making millions. It's hard for people to see that, because they're like, hey, I remember you when you would call me about the food banks and call me about, hey, I need some money for my light bill. And so the reality of it is you have to see yourself differently. It's not about how other people see you. It's about how you see yourself. Because when you see yourself as greatness, then you will be able to weed out the weeds, the people who refuse to see you for your worth and your value. You want people around you who will uplift you and inspire you. You want people around you when you're not living at your fullest potential, that tell you, hey, shake it out. Let's get up. Let's keep moving. Let's do what we need to do, and let's get it done, because you are too great to be here. Those are the kind of people that you want in your circle. And as I'm finding so many clients are coming, they're telling me they don't have that. They don't have that community. All they have is them, or all they have is their family. And so if that is you, I encourage you to get with a community, get with people who will uplift you, get with people who desire to see you win in life. Matter of fact, go to rootedwithinher.com. Okay. That is where you can find that community. That's where you can make sure that you are a part of something greater than you. And you can make sure you have the resources that you need. You can make sure that you are joining our challenges that we have coming up, about 40 days of prayer, power, and making sure your health is good, and making sure that you are walking in full optimal wellness for yourself. Wealth and wellness, making sure you're getting those tools that you need. Because the reality of it is you were not put here on earth to do it by yourself. And if you're wondering, where can I listen to that sermon? When you go to YouTube, just type in Rock City. Okay, it's Rock City Church. This title is called Proof Help Me for this sermon. And it'll really help you to see it from a different perspective of, that's why people don't see your worth and your value, because when they met you, you needed something. Every time they looked up, you needed something. And now that you're good and you're sustaining, they don't know how to deal with that. They don't know how to treat you or handle you. And so you have to show people how to treat you and handle you. And so when I was working at Walmart, I had to realize, like, okay, they saw me when I was the cashier, when I was playing with them and laughing with them and hanging with them and doing all these things. But when I got into this role, I had to show up as that person. And they couldn't see that. They were like, okay, who she thinks she is? Oh, she wanted to tell me to go to register 8. I'm going to go to register 15 just because I can. And it taught me a valuable lesson. That lesson was, when you elevate, you have to understand, don't take it personal. Don't take it personal, because they knew you at this level when you was hanging with them, you were doing all these things, and it's okay to elevate. There's nothing wrong with elevating, but sometimes you have to remove yourself from that environment. So once I transferred and once I was at a different Walmart in a different place, that is when I was able to really function and take off, because, hey, they didn't know me. I'm in a new environment. They know me as a supervisor. I'm giving orders, they taking them, because they didn't know who I was before. And so for you, you might say, okay, how can this apply to my life? Well, I want you to look at the key relationships that are in your life, and I want you to think about, what lessons does this teach me? Okay. Then I want you to write down 3 things that you have learned throughout the different relationships that you have, and how they are shaping your future. And if that's hard for you, that means it's time to get a new circle. It's time to get new people. But I guarantee you, if you really dig deep, you'll find out that you have learned something. Okay? You have learned something from these relationships, whether it's good or bad. And you have to desire where you truly desire to see yourself. Okay? So I need you to end your day with this. I release what no longer serves me and make space for my peace. I release what no longer serves me and I make space for my peace. And I love this affirmation. Matter of fact, this is our affirmation for the week, because as you are navigating relationships in your life in different spaces, you have to say, you know what? I refuse to allow what has happened to me in my past to hold me back. People can throw whatever they want in your face, but you don't have to. You don't have to accept it, because we all have a past. And the reality of it is, hey, who you were in the past, you are not her today. And that's why we have this podcast, Rooted Within Her. So you will understand your worth. You will understand your value. You will understand that you are appreciated. You will understand that you are God's masterpiece. And when you understand who your creator created you to be, then it don't matter what people say. It don't matter what people, how they look at you, what they do. It doesn't matter, because you know your worth and your value. And that is what matters more than anything. So make sure you go to rootedwithinher.com, download some of our free resources to help you as you are dealing with healing, as you are dealing with empowering yourself to be better, having more positive thoughts, and just being the best version of yourself. That's where you can also get a copy of my book, Unapologetically Divorced. You can also get a copy of joining our challenges and what it's going to take for you to be a part of our 40-day prayer, power, health, wealth, and wellness challenge. And I just look forward to seeing you guys all win. So again, make sure you follow me on all social media platforms. Thank you for tuning in today and being the very best version of yourself possible that you can possibly be.
Yeah, Stella, baby. Finna get right.